Hello collectors and welcome back to the channel. We're going to be doing a quick product review here of something that's a bit older. Something that's going to be harder to find out there in the market, but I was fortunate enough to pick up this from my local card store in Sydney here by the name of Diggers. Michael there, the store owner, and Andrew, his business partner, were able to procure this just recently and knew that would be something I'd be willing to purchase at the right price, of course. Now, this product will be motorsport related, as you can tell by the background here. I've put a few things up. These cards will be representative of the Supercars series, which is our local Tier 1 Motorsport Championship. Previously known as the V8 Supercars. As you'll see on the box, it is showcased as V8 Supercars. Now, for my collection right here in front of you, you'll see our Bathurst winning cars that I've got in our collection. There'll be a reason why they're up here. To the left is the 1981 Bathurst winner, driven by Dick Johnson and John French. The middle car is the 1984 Bathurst winner, also known as the Big Banger. This was driven by Peter Brock and Larry Perkins to victory. And the one on the right is a Commodore, driven by V8 Supercars legend Mark Scaife and Jim Richards. So these will be represented at, and as you can see, the cards in front of you and behind you. The cards actually here and here are actually pieces of race metal from NASCAR. The one on the left is from Dale Earnhardt Jr., signed by him. The one on the right is the Carl Edwards. Actually, times and dates are actually on the little slips there. Also picked up a Marino Sato 250 gold card from the Topps Chrome Series 2021 from memory. And my latest acquisition was this Dale Earnhardt Jr. to 15, which is pretty cool. I've been looking for a Dale Jr. card for a while. And got that also from Diggers at a very good price. So this is the product we're going to be looking at tonight, guys. Supercars put this out. It was to commemorate the 50 years of Bathurst. These are the 2013 teams that ran that championship. So it comes in a nice little display box. So we'll just take the cover off here and we'll have a look at this little collection here. This may not be a quick video. It may be. So it is a hefty box, actually a wooden box. So they've actually put a lot of thought into this. Nice bit of quality. Little felt bottom there so it doesn't scratch your display cabinets. Pretty damn decent. I really like that. So let's get this cracked open. I'm going to move the camera down for you guys to see a little bit better. So here we go. So magnetic top. Sorry about the camera. So opening this up, we'll see our certificate. This also talked to me because 69 of 500. Yeah, puns and jokes on that one, of course. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, these are our cards. It's been interesting how they've packed these. We'll take these out of the box so we don't cause any damage. And we'll start with the ones on the right here, which are the current team championships cards for that year, 2013. I will definitely be sleeving these up and putting them in some sort of top loaders and potentially one touches just to protect them, because I do really enjoy this series. Now the thing is, I'll probably get most of these cards signed, so we'll start here. This is going to be cards with all the driver profiles on the back. So Jamie Whincup there, 7-time champion, multiple Bathurst winning champion. So that's card number one, or draw a card number one as well. So I'm guessing that's how they may actually number these cards. So pretty decent card stock. Really interesting they've done that. Put that one down here. Next one here is Garth Tander. So both these guys are champions at Bathurst and also in the championship itself. Both are now retired. Jamie is now a team manager, and Garth has moved on to being a commentator in the championship. There we go, card number 3. So he's going to be by car numbers, I guess. Tony D'Alberto. He was in Team Highflex car at the time. He is now more of a co-driver and current champion of the forgive me, the series that they're running locally, which is a global phenomenon. I can't remember, unfortunately. I'll get back to that eventually. Lee Holsworthy, great driver, this guy. Just recently retired. So, really nice looking set. And that's when he drove with, I believe that was Erebus at the time. Yeah, because it was Erebus. Stone Brothers Racing was a team, and it became Erebus Racing. There's car number 5, another Bathurst winner here. This is Mark Winterbottom, still driving the championship today. Actually a local boy here from Sydney. Only lived up the road. And he's going to win a championship himself. Another Bathurst winner. This is Will Davison of the Davison family. Not many people outside of Australia would know this guys, but his grandfather Lex was quite an accomplished driver. Todd Kelly, another Bathurst winner. Extremely nice guy. He and his brother both drove in the championship. They've both now retired and gone on to other things outside the championship. So, pretty cool there. Really nice guy here, Jason Bright, who actually raced in the US. Came back to Australia in 2000 actually, to race in IndyCar on the Gold Coast and did quite well. He's also a Bathurst winner. He won in 1998 for Stone Brothers Racing. So that's cool. Maro Engel, car number 9. That was the other Erebus car. So they were driving Fords initially, and then they were driving Mercedes. So this guy was a pretty damn handy driver. Unfortunately, at the time in the Supercars, sort of didn't really suit him, I don't think. But he is such a great GT driver. Won multiple races and championships. There we go, Chaz Mostert. For you guys out there who follow Supercars, this kid has really lit up the last few years. Has won Bathurst. Hopefully we'll see him win a championship at some stage. He has all the talent, and he has the team behind him. Then we got Fabian Coulthard, another real cool guy. He's now just gone into co-driving. There is talk he will be actually back on the grid in a mate-time role. If you do have a look at Bathurst highlights and see the big crash where the car goes rolling through the chase there and pulling itself apart, that was him. There we go, there's Rick Kelly, so Todd's younger brother. Again, Bathurst winner and very accomplished driver in his own right, won the championship as well. Also now retired, enjoying his life, doing some YouTube videos and builds. Tim Blanchard, he has sort of gone and done just co-driving stuff now. He did drive a few years in the championship. Unfortunately, it is, like most racing, a bit of a cutthroat sort of category. Alex Davison, this is Will Davison's older brother, also part of the Davison family, of course. He is also a great driver. Cut his teeth in Europe in Porsche Cup and stuff like that. Will, actually, on a side note, was a test driver for F1 in, I think it was Minardi, and then I think also one other team. Unfortunately, didn't go too far after that. Jonathan Webb, another Bathurst winner. At the time of this photo, he was team owner, which was Techno Motorsport. He won with Will Davison, so I think it was that second win for Will. So again, really liking the presentation of these cards. These are all the drivers. So it's going to be quite a few cards here. Here we go, David Wall. Again, another accomplished driver. Driven on so many categories over the years. Gone back from supercars to driving those categories and gone on to success each time. James Courtney here. This guy is a real gun driver. Has been in the championship for a few years now. He replaced Marcus Ambrose. Drove with Russell Ingall back in the 2006-7 years. Also been a Bathurst podium attendee quite a lot. He is a former Jaguar F1 driver, or test driver I should say, and won the Japanese GT Championship a couple of times. For our American friends, this is Scott McLaughlin. You'll know him over there racing in IndyCar for Team Penske. This is when he first started out. He drove for Gary Rogers Motorsport. They moved from the Holdens into the Volvos and absolutely blitzed the field with some really good cars. Unfortunately, those Volvos sort of moved on after a few years and then became the Commodores again, and he moved on to bigger and better things when he joined Team Penske DJR. Here's another name some people would recognize, Alex Pramat. Really nice guy Alex was. Met him a few times in other categories when he raced here. There's Michael Caruso. Again, very talented driver. Going on to co-driving and driving in TCM. TCR. TCR is a championship I was thinking of when I was talking about Tony D'Alberto before. Tim Slade, who's still currently driving the championship. We'll see how much longer he wants to stay in the championship. He's got a lot of other interests outside of motorsport that he gets into. So, Davey Reynolds, this is my guy. Been supporting Davey since before he even joined the championship. Great driver, Bathurst winner. Yet to be champion. Maybe one day. Hopefully the teams out there will give him a card that actually can get him up the front there to be consistent each week. There's Russell Ingall, multiple time champion at Bathurst. He's now retired. He's now doing a YouTube thing with the dude Paul Morris. Scotty Pye, who's still in the championship. He came over from Europe, supported by Triple Eight Engineering. And then he's gone on to now drive with Team 18 with Mark Winterbottom. Dean Fiore, again, another one of these guys who has a lot of talent, but unfortunately I don't think the supercars really did well for him. I think the last time he really drove in his own sort of car was with Troy Bayliss at Bathurst. And then we've got Shane Van Gisbergen. Now, this guy is an absolute gun. I've been fortunate enough to see him race in quite a few different categories, including GT racing and rally and stuff like that. Recently went to the States and raced in Chicago and absolutely nailed it. First time driving there in one of those cars and goes and wins the event. He will be going to the States very soon. I think he's leaving tonight or tomorrow to go and attend the Indy NASCAR event with another Australian driver, which unfortunately is not in this set because he wasn't even driving the series, but that's Brody Kostecki. So watch out, US. These guys are coming for you. James Moffat, his father, famous Bathurst winner, famous touring car driver here in Australia, originally from Canada, and he's been taken on by the Australian fans. And James is his son, who was born here in Australia. Very talented driver, also driving in the TCR. This legend here, Craig Lowndes, again, one of these guys who could have probably gone overseas and made a big name for himself. Did try to get into Formula One. Unfortunate budget constraints back in the 90s did hurt him, but he came back and has made Supercars his home. He's now retired, semi-retired, I should say, because he's going to still co-drive at Bathurst this year, touted as possibly being his last year. So these are the car images. So this is Jamie Whincup's car. Again, got the same sort of stats on the back, so we won't go with the stats. They actually are card numbered, so there we go. So Jamie's car, Garth's car, Tony D'Alberto, Lee Holsworthy. As you can tell, that's a Mercedes. So that's the one thing that Erebus changed up a little bit. They brought in another category. Then we got the Ford Falcon there of Mark Winterbottom, the Pepsi Max colours. And then Chaz Mostert. And then there's another silhouette. So this one is a Nissan Altima, which these things are absolutely guns in the second tier series and now the third tier series. So they're quite good cars. Jason Bright's car. So V Falcon, which may be actually a VF. Yeah, VF Falcon at this stage, so the upgraded version of the VE. Maro Engels car. These are actually a great little car. Unfortunately, they just didn't have the backing that they should have really had. And there's a Ford Falcon of Chaz Mostert. That's when he raced for DJR in his first season. Coulthard, the Lockwood car. Brad Jones Racing. Rick Kelly. Kelly Racing at the time. We've got the other Wilson's car, which is Blanchard. That's DJR again. There's a Yoldwin car, that's Alex Davison's car, which that team then was Full Performance Racing. Because these were where this actual team sponsorship was Stone Brothers at one stage. So Darrell Lee Chocolate's car, that's Jonathan Webb's Commodore again. David Wall. James Courtney in the 22. Scotty Mack. Alex Pramat. Michael Caruso in the Nissan. Tim Slade in the Mercedes. Dave Reynolds in the Falcon. Russell Ingall. Commodore. Look at these other ones here quickly. Scotty Pye. Dean Fiore. Shane Van Gisbergen. Moffat. And Craig Lowndes in the 888. So a really nice looking set. So that is the base set for that championship year. Now I'm going to get onto the other cards in this other baggie. So in this box came 2 autographed cards for every box. So 500 boxes, so there's 500 of each autograph. And there we go. So that's Dick Johnson. That's his signature. It's got his Bathurst wins. So, and that's the card to the left hand of the image here. And we've got his stats on there. So 81, 89, 94 Bathurst wins. And 6 podiums. So some really nice card stock, as I said. I'll definitely get that one slabbed by my local card grading company. And that's Mark Scaife. As you can see, he's won quite a few championship, or quite a few Bathursts there. So he's won 6 Bathursts, not the most. Peter Brock actually has the most at 9, which is still yet to be broken. It's a card numbered 69, as is the Dick Johnson. It's also 69, so matches the box. So tell us if you think I should grade these guys because really like to see if it'd be a good idea. So these are the actual team Bathurst wing cars. So I'm guessing from 2013 back, or 2012 backwards, because 2013 hadn't been run yet. So that's the Paul Dumbrell Jamie Whincup car. Then we got the Gartender Percat car. Craig Lowndes Mark Scaife. So that was Mark Scaife's final victory before he retired. Garth Tander, Will Davison. There's Craig Lowndes again. So you'll see Craig Lowndes a couple of times in here or more. So Craig Lowndes and Jamie Whincup. Craig Lowndes and Jamie Whincup again. And then we got Craig Lowndes and Jamie Whincup again. So this one was actually an iconic year. This is the year that the great man Peter Brock had passed away, and his protege Craig Lowndes actually went on to win that race. So that one's actually a very special card. I'll definitely get that one signed by the boys and put into a snub straight away. Then we got Todd Kelly and Mark Scaife. Greg Murphy and Rick Kelly. And the previous year, in 2003, Greg Murphy and Rick Kelly. They're such great looking cars back then, the Kmart cars. Then we got Mark Scaife again, this time with Jim Richards. And then Mark Scaife and Tony Longhurst, which is the car to the right hand side there. In actual fact, those two cars are the same car. They call it the Golden Child. Such a great car. It's still in existence today. So Garth Tander and Jason Bargwanna. Then we got Stephen Richards and Greg Murphy. And then again, Stephen Richards and then Jason Bright this time. And that's before Jason went to the US to race in Formula 3000 and so forth, to make a good name for himself, to come back here and race. So this one's a bit of an interesting one. So this is 1998. So this was the World Tours from memory. So that year was a dual year. So this one was not actually a Supercars Championship, because the Bathurst 1000 was run here, but this is a 1000 race as well from memory. And that was run by Rickard Rydell and Jim Richards. So, sort of an interesting year that year. We got 97. Got Larry Perkins and Russell Ingall. And just like the 1998, we had the same thing happen this year. A little bit different. From memory, I think it's different. No, it's still A&P Bathurst 1000. Jeff Brabham and David Brabham. For you guys who are Formula One fans, these are the Brabham brothers. Both have really been big players in other motorsport fields. Both of these guys have both won the Le Mans 24 Hour. So well recognized, and David is actually heading up the Brabham Supercar program right now to sort of rival the hypercars and stuff like that there. This is the first Bathurst win for Greg Murphy and Craig Lowndes. So again, another of those iconic images that I'll probably get signed. We've got Larry Perkins and Russell Ingall again. This one is a Dick Johnson and John Bowe. That was Dick's final Bathurst win. Then we've got Larry Perkins and Greg Hansford. Greg, unfortunately, a few years later had passed away. His sons are now racing in a few categories. Such a great driver. Unfortunately, he'll be only remembered in Australia. Jim Richards and Mark Scaife in Godzilla, which was a Nissan GTR, and I'll just bring up the other car because, well, why not? That is also the Godzilla. So this is Motorsport, which was Gibson Motorsport at the time. took these cars and basically redeveloped them to be race winning packages. Very successful cars until they got banned in 1993. Therefore, that's where the Supercars Championship was born. So at this stage in 92, 93 and before was the Australian Touring Car Championship. Okay, so we got Win Percy and Alan Grice. This is a Walkinshaw car. Dick Johnson and John Bowen, probably one of the best Sierras ever built on the planet. Such a great car. Another Sierra there, Tony Longhurst and Thomas Mazira. Thomas Mazira, Czech Republic native, who moved to Australia to race here locally with quite a few of our drivers. Really nice guy. Was a driving standard driver, a driving standard official quite a years in the Supercars after he retired. This was Peter Brock, Dave Parsons, and Peter McLeod. This was Peter's last Bathurst win. This is Bathurst win number 9. So you'll probably see all 9 cars here in a few secs. So that's number 1. We got Alan Grice and Graham Bailey. That's the 96 Chickadee car. Back then, these were all standard road cars that had been redeveloped. We got John Goss and Arne Hain. This was a Walkinshaw car. There's 2 of them. And yeah, they really turned up that year and took it to the local cars. This is the iconic banger, which is the image just behind you. That was Peter Brock and Larry Perkins that year. Really great looking car. Still in the museum today. Still starts up occasionally and goes on to the track for some demonstrations. Then the previous year you had Brock, Perkins and Harvey. John Harvey, another great driver. Again, could have on bigger band things over in Europe or America if they had the opportunities. So Peter Brock and Larry Perkins again. So that's a 1981 Bathurst win. Oh, sorry, 82 Bathurst win, sorry. And there we go. There's the 1981 Bathurst winner, which is the car on the left-hand side that I have the model of. Then Peter Brock, Jim Richards. So bit of a regular thing that Peter won 3, missed 1. Won 3, missed 1. This is the A9X, which is a phenomenal car. Massive weapon. This car broke the record on the last lap. And yeah, really great built car. This is the previous year's car. This is 78. And hadn't it been for a couple of issues, he would have probably broken the lap record on that event too, on the last lap. This is the famous XC Ford Falcon, driven by Alan Moffat and Jackie X, I should say. Jackie X from memory is from Belgium originally. And I think it's his daughter's now racing or something at the moment. So love to see him come to Australia and sign an autograph. Unfortunately, Alan Moffat is in really poor health lately, and yeah, may not be able to attend any more events to meet fans. Bob Morris and John Fitzpatrick. Peter Brock and Brian Sampson. This was actually a privateer car that Peter had actually driven after he broke away from the Holden Deal team, HDT. And this is John Goss and Kevin Bartlett. XB Falcon. Love these cars. Really nice car. This is an XA. Actually, that might be an XA. XA Falcon, sorry, not XB, because XB never won Bathurst. This is the XA Falcon the previous year in 73. Alan Moffat and Ian Gagan. Ian Gagan also has passed away a few years back. And this one goes to the Bathurst 500. So this is the 500 mile, not the 1,000 kilometers. So it looks slightly different, but this is the years where single drivers could complete the race. And this is last year. And this is actually Peter Brock's first year. And that's a Tirana. So, XU1 Tirana. when you put this car up against the other cars, it's a fairly small little car, but it was a great little weapon. And there we go, Alan Moffat. That's an XY GTHO. One of the fastest production cars on the planet at the time. There we go, Alan Moffat again. So that's the XW version, so the previous model. Not a lot of big difference in it, there's a few minor hints. This one there, Colin Bond and Tony Roberts, and that was in the GTS Monaro, GT350 Monaro, GTS 350 Monaro I should say. I really do like this set. This is a really nice looking set. Bruce McPhee and Barry Mulholland. That's also in a Monaro, but it's a GTS 327. Almost to the end. Harry Firth and Fred Gibson. Two great guys. Fred Gibson is, one of those guys who went and built really good cars for a lot of people to drive. Harry Firth, absolute gentleman when you met him. That's the XRGT. So that's 1967. And then 1966, you had the Mini Cooper. Bob Holden and Renault Alton. So that one was quite an interesting one, that this little car went and beat the V8s. But because it was so zippy around that track, it could do it. Then we got Barry Seaton and Midge Bosworth. This is a Cortina, Ford Cortina. And yeah, that was the Armstrong 500. So yeah, pretty interesting that these cars were racing back then. So they're Bob Jane and George Reynolds. So I'm pretty sure these were the years they raced down in Phillip Island before it came up to Bathurst. So Phillip Island, well known for the big motorcycle race we have in Australia. And this is our last one here. That's a Bob Jane and Harry Firth in 1963. So there we go. That's all of them, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. It is a pretty nice looking set. Unfortunately, not really able to get these common. As I said, most of the people who have actually got these in their collection, they've gone on to sell them as individual cards on eBay or whatever. But these are quite a nice looking set. There are quite a few cars there I'd probably like to get autographed at the track when I go to Bathurst in a couple of months' time. And probably get them slapped up by my local car company. Having these two cards here with the autographs already on them, they'll definitely probably make their way to the card graders within the next couple of weeks, as I do have a submission ready to go. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that. If you like the content, by all means, let us know. If there's anything you'd like to see that is a little bit different, I do have some collectible things coming up that you might be interested in, not just cards, which seem to be the most common thing most. I'm going to be doing reviews on different collectible items in the future. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for joining us and have a good evening.